What's up, YouTube? It's Team Dank Yu-Gi-Oh! Here, giving you guys a budget deck profile for SLUSHY control. Since it's budget, you won't see a card in here that is over $3, or not even, so I'll just get right down to it. So, the deck is called SLUSHY control. The main reason is because of SLUSHY. So, SLUSHY is the main card of the deck. When it's normal summon, you dump a SLUSHY from your graveyard, or from your deck to your graveyard. If you have 3 copies of SLUSHY, either banished or in your graveyard, you can banish him and then bring back a level 5 or higher Sea Serpent, and then special summon that, and you can only use this effect once per turn. Doesn't matter, you're getting a big Sea Serpent, generally. Excuse me. Next up, we have your first target for SLUSHY, which is 3 Poseidra. This card's really good because you play a Frog Engine, which allows you to tribute off your frogs and drop him on board. So what he does is you can tribute 3 level 3 lower water monsters, special summon him from your hand or graveyard. When you do, giant Tornado the field. If 3 or more cards were returned, all your opponent's monsters lose 300 times the number of spells and traps that were bounced. So on average, I have him making all my opponent's monsters lose 1800 in this deck. So he's really good in here. Next up, we have 3 Sea Lancer. 3 is necessary in the deck because of Poseidra. The combo with him is if you equipped him with a ton of frogs and slushies and stuff like that, you drop Poseidra and then you get a +4 and you get you get a Poseidra, you can get a +3 to 4 and make all your opponent's monsters weaker. So the next card, we're getting into the frogs now. 3 Swap Frog. Discard a water, drop him on board, then Foolish Burial, a level 2 or lower Aqua. So you can send your slushies with him, and you can send other frogs with him to the graveyard. Next up, we have triple Ronin Totem. What this card does is you can banish a frog and bring him back, and this helps you get fodder for your Sea Lancer, and you can make a ton of rank 2s with him, so he's really good. And it makes the deck accelerate more to drop your Poseidra. Next up, we have triple Duke Frog. When he's your search engine, but almost never are you going to use him because Swap Frog is just going to be discarding him, or you're just going to be banishing him to bring back the Ronin Totem. Next up, we have double Battle Fader. Now, Battle Fader is self-explanatory. You just stall yourself out for a turn and get a monster to tribute for the Sea Lancer. Next up, we have double Tragodia. You play 2 traps in the whole deck, and you're not going to be holding on to a lot of hand advantage in the deck. However, you're playing level 7s, which makes it really good in the Mermail matchup to just be able to discard one of your 4 level 7s and then snatch a Megalo. So, it's pretty fun. Next up, we have a Poison Draw. He's a water target for your Swap Frog, and you can just draw a card off the Sea Lancer. Mainly, you're probably never ever going to use this card except for with Creature Swap. Next up, we have Gores. It's Gores. You play, like I said, you only play 2 traps, so he's never dead, almost. And 1 Leviathan Dragon, Daedalus. The reason you only play 1 is because he's situational, for 1. For 2, since you're not playing Treeborn, you're not getting the free monster every turn to be able to tribute summon as much as you can in a regular Frog Monarch build. So, however, I believe that this card is ridiculous with Lemuria, and because he's a Sea Serpent, you can bring him back with SLUSHY. However, I don't think you need to be playing more than 1. If you do play more than 1, play 2, because like I said, he is situational. Next up, we have probably the most busted card in the deck, triple Lemuria. Now, for those of you players that can afford expensive cards like Big Eye and stuff like that, or if you're not a child and just don't have the pocket, the pocket money, what it does is all your monsters, you can make them gain levels equal to the number of water monsters on the field, and since most of them are level 2, it allows you to make insane Exceed plays. Not only that, but all your water monsters gain 200, and the plus side is that its name is treated as Umi, meaning you can send it off for Leviathan Dragon and blow up the field. So, next up we have triple Mystical Space Typhoon. It's pretty... you don't really need to say anything else. It's MST, pop a spell or trap. I mean, it's really good, since you're not playing any traps, and this deck is scared of back row. Next up, we have double salvage. It will let you recycle your frogs and put the slushies and your sea lancers back in hand if need be. So, and it's a free +1, which is always easy. Next up, we have a creature swap. You can be like, summon Slushy, and they'll be like, sure. And then you'll be like, creature swap. And they'll be like, man. You'll be like, here's a Slushy for you. But they won't thank you for that Slushy. And most people should, though, because Slushies are delicious. Next up, we have Pot of Avarice. Recycle all your stuff if need be. A Heavy Storm, a Monster Reborn, and a Dark Hole. So yeah. And for the 2 traps you play, it is 2 Torrential Tribute. You don't want to play too many traps because it'll flood too much for the Sea Lancer. But the Torrential can allow you to summon the Sea Lancer with Torrential set, and then Torrential, blow up the field, then your Poison Draw dies, and you draw a card. So, next up for the extra deck. Keep in mind, this is a budget deck. This is only 9 cards, but you can add whatever you want in here. It doesn't really matter. But these are just 9 cards that I thought most people should play in here. And it does quite a bit, so we'll just get right down to it. First off, we have the rank 2s. You have triple Gachi Gachi Gantetsu. You make this card like a fat kid eats cake, way too much. And it'll allow you to pump up all your monsters, and he can stall out. He does quite a bit. Next up, we have one Shining Elf. Normally, I wouldn't play this card ever, like in a million years, but he does do some stuff. So, I mean, with him and Agachi, you can make a lot of like people that drop big monsters, less frightening. So, only make him if you need to. If you have cards to put in there, then just don't play them. One Dark Mist. This card is a common out of the Star Pack, so yeah, and it's really, really good. It lets you run over big monsters, and he keeps the attack. And I've had him at a 4,500 bucks. Oh no, camera, don't do that. Sorry about that, guys. My camera fell off the pedestal I had it on. So sorry. Next up, we have a Papilloperative. Still focusing from when I dropped it. I'm sorry I failed you guys. One Utopia. One Snowdust Giant. It'll allow you to make all your opponent's monsters weaker. So, I'm sorry guys. There we go. It's focusing. It's focused now. Damn it, it's not focused anymore. I'm sorry. At least it's at the end of the video this time. And one Shockmaster. It comes out of the tin. If you have problems getting this card, you need help. You probably shouldn't be playing Yu-Gi-Oh! But you can make this card like candy. So, yeah. So that's the deck profile, guys. Like, comment, subscribe. Go check out all of our personal channels that are in the description box below. Watch our other videos and, have a good day. So, goodbye.